Welcome to the Enriched Minds podcast, people. Welcome back. We gotta talk. What are we talking about today? I guess you know because you had to click on the headline. I want to know, did hip hop kill romance in today's generation? Now, what do I mean by that? And I'm not attacking hip hop. I'm a hip hop lover. But when I was coming up, and when a lot of y'all was coming up and your parents were coming up, slow songs were all the romance. Slow songs set a certain tone for you to get the girl you wanted. For you to be smooth with her. When we were going to school, and I never went to a prom, but I know it happened at proms, but when I went to dances, we would all have like teen dances and things of that nature. And periodically throughout the night, and at the very end of the night, and this was important, they played slow songs. And the last song of the night was always a slow song. Always. Even in the clubs. Why was that? Because as a boy, for instance, that was a big moment. That was the moment that you went from a boy to a man, so to speak. Because you had to ask the girl for the dance. You had to physically ask her. You could not write a note about would you dance with me, check yes or no. You had to physically walk up to her over the screaming and the fluttering of the butterflies in your stomach. And over your friends pushing you around, telling you to go ask her. They keep pushing you. I'm going, just leave me alone. You finally mustered up that inner strength to go after what you wanted, which was that girl. No girls asked a boy to dance. If I don't want to insult anybody. If they did, it was probably because they had to. But anyway, the boy had to become a man. As an adult, that calmed everything down. And you would slow groove with her. And your mouth is by her neck. And you might even get the kiss during that slow dance. Because it put it in a certain mood. Now, hip hop, fast beats, you're in the mood to dance. Slow jams, you're in the mood to romance. Keith Sweat back in the day. Countless artists were the kings of R&B. Even women. I don't want to just seem biased or misogynistic. But a lot of that music, a lot of this generation was created to, if you know what I mean. But now, it's all gone. And there's some artists that's still around, Anthony Hamilton and all this, but the impact of the slow jam has totally went away. This new generation, they have no impact of the slow jam in their lives. And it shows. But let's take a little trip down memory lane. I love hip hop. But around the mid-90s, hardcore hip hop or gangster rap and hardcore hip hop, because Method Man and Redman aren't necessarily gangster rappers, they're hardcore rappers, that began to predominantly take over the world, for that matter. It invaded pop music. Hip hop began to influence pop music back in that time too. But also back at that time, slow jams began to decline. Keith Sweat and other guys began to get old. They hung on to the late 90s, early 2000s with Gerald Levert, Johnny Gill, Keith Sweat, LSD. Oh no, that wasn't LSD, was it? That was I left something out, but that was another group. Yeah, I mixed that up with somebody. I'm sorry, guys, but you're catching my drift. the slow jams didn't have the impact. And hardcore rap began to take over. And by the mid to late 2000s, hardcore rap was pretty much all the rage. Except for Drake. Drake would come out smooth. Chris Brown was still around, but he made a lot of dance songs. It wasn't a lot of impactful, I want to make a baby slow songs. Back in the days, those slow songs made you want to make a baby. Not just beg for her love. And I believe that this is why a lot of these younger generational kids they don't even really know what a relationship is because the lines are blurred. Now, what do I mean by that? I'm not hating on nobody. But I observe you youngsters, as you probably know, or maybe not, but I have a goddaughter that's like that she is my stanky wanky. She'll be 25 this year. Oh, no, wait, she'll be 26 this year. Holy shit, I'm getting old. She'll be 26. But anyway, she moved in with me immediately after she graduated high school. I would observe her on the phone and her relationship with her boyfriend. I never heard his side. I mean, he came over a few times, but it wasn't, I didn't see that much interaction. I mean, at that point, they were past the suaveness anyway, but observing what goes on now. I'm out at bars. I rarely go to clubs. Sometimes I find myself in the club, in the corner, trying to find an exit. Can't wait for the people I'm with to be ready to go. But I see the interaction now, and the suaveness is gone. Gone. You turn on the radio at 3 o'clock in the morning. Unless I go to an oldie station, there is no slow music. There's no tone it down music. Let's take this to the bedroom music. There's none of that. Now, growing up, I think it was 10 p.m., maybe 9 p.m., on any radio station, they had what you call the quiet storm. And what they would do is they would play nothing but slow music. And you could call the radio station and dedicate the song to your girl. I want to dedicate this to Amber. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about you. I miss you. And the DJ would convey that to the world, that you dedicated this song to this person, male and female both. When you would turn on the radio, when you left the party or left the club back then, it was slow jams. It was taking it to the bedroom music. Okay, we're not going to the Waffle House. We're not going to continue the party. We trying to take this to a private party, to the next level. We trying to take this to the bedroom, people. Now when I get in the car, they still playing hip-hop dance jams at 4 in the morning. Still grooving. Now this is what I believe is missing from today's society. I observe the youngsters, the young men and women interact. And the men talk to the women as if they're a boy, as if they're a man. So harsh. They don't, when we were younger, when we were younger, you couldn't wait to get on the phone with your girl, right? But here was the problem, youngsters. There was one phone per house. Now everybody in the house has their own phone. Back then there was one phone per house. And if you had siblings, you were going to fight over it. And your mom would just come and shut it all down if she needed to use the phone. It was over. Wasn't nothing you could say. And back then, when I'm a little older, call waiting didn't exist. So when you called somebody's phone, you got a busy signal. A lot of y'all, you probably don't know what a busy signal is, but it meant that that phone was unavailable. Okay? But when you finally won the phone and you called your crush or your crush called you, what we would do is play a little slow music in the background. and we have our feet up on the wall. We damn near sitting upside down, and we're just lost in this conversation with our crush. We changed the way we talked. We talked softer. Did you miss me? You know I missed you, baby. We talked smooth. We wanted to settle her nerves so slow to where she didn't want to do nothing but lay down, okay? When it was nothing left for her to do but lay down with me. That was the smooth part. But I hear a lot of you youngsters now, they calling their girls my nigga. My nigga, you did this. It's like, damn, everything's abrasive. Everything's rough. Everything's hardcore hip-hop-ish. Everything's what you hear in these hip-hop songs. Meaning, AK-47s is murdering people. You have an 8-year-old white kid, never seen anything outside of the Boy Scouts, lives in suburban America. He's on the internet rapping about murdering people with AK-47s, participating in heavy narcotic selling, ingesting a lot of narcotics and controlled substances, and having sex with somebody else's girl. This seems to be the new criteria. If you're not taking narcotics, murdering people with AK-47s, if you don't have designer clothes, if you don't have diamonds, and if you're not having sex with somebody you can't have sex with your own girl. It gotta be somebody else's girl you having sex with. In today's society, in this rap music, you can't be a rapper. Now, if you take another trip down memory lane, LL Cool J was never a soft artist, but he had the smooth songs for the girls. Trick Daddy Dollars, gangster rapper, and real gangster. He had the smooth song for the girls. Told him he loved them, why he loved them, what kind of life he wanted with them. Even Kevin Gates in this day and age got a few good songs where he slows it down for the girls. But it's not that many artists you can name that does that now. And so that little 8-year-old, he thinks he has to be tough and hard at all times. Why does he think that? Because we lead by example. Hip hop, you are the example now. Hip hop has even invaded country music. I went to Stagecoach a couple of years ago, and I was listening to current country music, and they're rapping now. They still have a country beat, but they are literally rapping. And if you don't believe me, you can Google whatever, go to the current radio station on Spotify, and you'll hear the current country music. They're rapping. We've invaded everything. But I believe we voided today's society of romance. Now, the important bit of the romance is you have to, fellas, differentiate your girl from the boys. That girl is emotional, a lot more sensitive. A lot of the things that you say to her will hurt her, will cause her to think certain things, which leads to drama and distrust. Your friends, it don't matter. You can call your friend a punk, sissy, whatever derogatory term you guys use now. I don't want to get too graphic on here, but you get what I'm saying. You can use that with the fellas. But you say that to your girl, it will affect her. It might not affect her all the time, but it'll be that one moment when she's sensitive and her emotions are high that it hurts her. And you don't understand what's going on. We talk like this all the time. She ain't built like that. It's a female. There is a difference, biological difference, not an opinion. Look it up. But a lot of youngsters, they don't even know how to slow dance. Why did we not teach them that? Well, because the songs ain't around. That's a damn shame. The youngsters, are in troubled relationships now. Because they might not know how to express the softer side. So what a woman used to do, guys, is you would be on 10. You with your boys, adrenaline and testosterone is through the roof, and you with your boys and you tough and you this and you that, and you get with your girl and she brings you down from 10 to a 6 or maybe to a 5. Out of the heart attack range. Out of the grab the AK-47 range or go fucking tear up somebody's car. Rage against machine type thing. The woman would calm you down. The woman would be what you need, that balance that you need. But now, your girl is just as tough as you. And this is listen, I know it's a lot of tough girls out there. You grew up like that. I get it. But a lot of girls didn't grow up like that. But the example being set is she has to be tough. Just like the example, these guys are showing the youngsters that they got to be tough. They got to consume some kind of narcotic, drink lean, and all this crazy shit, right? But what about love? Do you know how to express love? That's what a lot of the love songs used to do. They would say a lot of things and give us a lot of the words that we needed to express certain things. Now, a lot of times, love is only expressed when they're trying to save the relationship. When the relationship is over and you're crying uncontrollably and your emotions got every cell in your body under control, and you got to get her or him back. Now, and a lot of women, they're built to profess their love. A lot of you boys and men, you're trying to be too tough, right? And I understand it's hip hop music. It's influencing your life. You dress with your pants hanging off. I can't even believe that's still around. That shit started with Eazy-E in the 80s, 85, 86, and it's still here. And that came from, look, it don't matter. The history lesson on that don't matter. But you're wearing your pants hanging off. And I'm not saying you need to be walking down with button down and suits. But, fellas, a kid is looking at you, looking at your underwear his whole life. It's crazy. But do you know how to be romantic? Now, I wonder, so when I was younger, we would put on the slow songs. It was R. Kelly back then. I know we're muting him now, but he was big back then. We listened to him. He helped us go half on a baby, things of that nature. But what do the kids listen to now? They might listen to Drake, right? But I know you're not listening to Migos. I know you're not listening to Gucci and all the baby and all these. They not helping you make no babies. I can bet that. Do you know how to be softer? It's just amazing that I even have to have this conversation. So anyway, what can we do? How can we get the current R&B artists to reintroduce love? Now, I love Tank, for instance. Great singer. But you listen to Tank's music and it's like you watching a porno. Now, a lot of women, they don't want to hear that. They might want to do that, but they don't want to hear the graphic nature of the songs. A lot of girls don't. It's still, a lot of women are still shy about those kind of things. If you're in a carload of people you don't know and that's coming on, it's a little awkward. It's a private song. But how can we get Tank to make a love song? How can we get Chris Brown to make a love song? Maybe we got to teach these people. Well, Tank is a little older, but maybe the younger generation, we got to teach them about love because it's going out of the way. It's over. Everybody's so aggressive now. We need that back, people. And maybe we'll have more. Well, I guess babies are going to get made anyway, right? But we'll have more successful relationships, more communicative relationships where people aren't afraid to express themselves in a scenario other than a breakup. Because a breakup will have you confessing every goddamn thing. The breakup will take all the toughness out of you. Devastation is behind the wheel. But guys and girls, you don't have to let it get that far to begin to communicate effectively. You can communicate effectively in the beginning all throughout. Make it fun. Make it romantic. Set the mood. Play the slow music. Light candles. Do y'all even light candles anymore? I know it's for show, little rose petals and stuff, but I'm talking about a 20-year-old in this day and age. Somebody that was born in 1999. Do they know about these things? Nelly was in their life. You understand? Anyway, let me know how you feel. And until the next episode, we gotta talk. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video too. Peace.